everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and in today's video I invite you to come meal prep with me and let me show you how I organize my fridge. Today's meal prep session is super easy, and meal prep does not have to take like 4 hours like some people like to tell you. Have you ever looked at Instagram and seen like those beautiful pictures with like the 10 meal prep containers with all this lovely food? It does not have to be like that for all of us because we are busy. I don't know about you, but I am a busy mom and I don't have time to do all of that for the entire week. What I can do though is make sure I have snacks and vegetables prepped for the week to help me save time on my dinners. I try to keep my meal prep sessions down to an hour or less, and I have a 3-step process that I use for that. And you'll be hearing about that a lot today, and you probably heard a lot about it before. But my 3 steps are baking, cooking, and chopping in that order. I do all my baking first, and while everything's baking, I do my cooking, whether it's pancakes or cooking up eggs or something. And then the third one is chopping, where I chop all my vegetables in between all of that to try to maximize my time. I do a little bit of that in today's video. Today I'm just making some pumpkin chocolate chip scones and I'm washing some strawberries. And that is it. I don't have any vegetables to chop. I don't have a lot of breakfast to make. I mean, that's it, just snacks and strawberries. And then afterward, I'm going to show you the inside of my fridge and show you what everything looks like, how I organize everything so that nothing goes to waste. So let's take you to the kitchen and get started. Let's make some scones first. Now my rhythm when it comes to meal prep is always baking first and then doing any cooking and then chopping of any fruits or vegetables. So I only have a couple things on my to-do list today, which really I believe is just the scones and washing strawberries. These scones are a huge favorite of mine, especially in fall, because when it comes to that time of year, I am all about everything pumpkin. And these scones, I mean, they're amazing. They are perfect for afternoon snacks with my coffee. They are perfect for evening snacks. I just adore them. I used all-purpose flour in this, but you could probably use like white whole wheat flour. I was actually going to use a mixture of all-purpose and whole wheat, but before I realized what I was doing, I already filled the bowl with 2 cups of all-purpose. But it'll turn out just fine either way. The oats have quite a bit of fiber in it, as well as the pumpkin, so you're still getting a really good fiber kick out of these. And these are full of all sorts of spices. So you've got cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. But if you had a bottle of pumpkin pie spice, you could maybe use like 2 teaspoons of that instead. That would give it the same flavor, I believe. And now that we have all the dry ingredients in here, we get to take it over to the mixer, where after mixing this up, we're going to cut in the butter. And actually, first, let me go ahead and stir together some of the wet ingredients before I do that. Man, who else could eat pumpkin stuff all year round though? Like, this stuff can be so addicting. And I try to keep like at least 1 or 2 cans of pumpkin in my pantry at all times, especially because it is so cheap at Aldi. I think I can get a can for like 89 cents. So I'll keep a couple in the pantry in case I have a craving for something like these scones. Okay, now that I have both of these mixed together, I'm going to go mix this in the mixer, cut in the butter, and then add this and the chocolate chips. Here comes my favorite part. It is kneading out the dough and turning them into scones. Makes me feel like a real homemaker making little biscuits or scones like this. They're really not all that hard. It might be a little bit time consuming at first, but holy cow, like that first bite into a homemade scone is absolute heaven. I try to make these a few times a year, and they seem to get better every single time. So right now I'm just very lightly kneading the dough. I still want the dough to be somewhat cold, so I'm trying not to really touch it too much and get it warmed up. It's easier to cut that way for me, I've noticed. And then I also have a problem of not getting enough out of my recipe. This is supposed to make 12, and I tend to cut them a little too thick at times. So I end up sometimes getting like 9 or 10, but not a huge deal, but I like to eat, so I'm gonna try to get as many as I can out of this. You gotta balance between getting them way too thick and way too thin. But this seems pretty good right here. Now you can use a cookie cutter if you want, but I have a tuna can that we have used. Cut a hole in it just to help with the air pressure. Then you just push down. I've got a chocolate chip stuck there. Come on, there we go. And then lift up, and you have your scone. And you just set it on the cookie sheet and keep going until you're all done. So tell me if you have ever made homemade scones before as well, and if so, what is your favorite kind? I've also made blueberry scones before, but honestly, I think these are my favorite. Here's what I love about doing meal prep on a Sunday afternoon. Once I get this done, like I'll be finished with my prep for the week. I won't have to take time out of my day to do this later. It saves me so much time, it saves me energy, and I know that I'll have healthy snacks like this laying around for when I need them. Same goes for making or chopping up your vegetables beforehand too. If you chop up your veggies, take an hour and just do whatever you can, then that's going to save you a ton of time. And to be honest, to be honest with you, you don't have to do a whole lot in order for it to be meal prep. I mean, if all you do is chop up some carrot sticks, I mean, that's going to save you time. You're actually going to eat them. So I consider that a win. Anything that you can do will be considered meal prep. If you want to make a quick batch of pancakes or a quick batch of muffins or something for breakfast, I mean, that's going to save you time in the morning, and it's going to keep you from going out and grabbing a breakfast because you've got it right here already. I try not to stress myself out too much when it comes to meal prep. I used to do like a whole bunch of stuff at once, but then I realized it's just way too much. So nowadays, if I can bake something like this and maybe wash some fruit, maybe a vegetable or two, then I consider that a win for myself. I mean, we are all super busy. We don't need to be spending 3 or 4 hours in the kitchen getting prep done for the week. Oh, I got all 12, plus I got an itty bitty baby one, so I'll get that on the sheet as well, and we'll get that in the oven. Now these guys won't expand too much. They'll rise, but they're not gonna get much bigger, rounder than what they are right now. So let's put this in the oven, probably 13 or 14 minutes, and let's go wash some strawberries. Strawberries are actually really easy to wash. I do this with both strawberries and blueberries, and this makes them last seriously up to a week. All you need is a mixture of vinegar and water. So 1 part vinegar to 9 parts water. I just added a few tablespoons of vinegar here. Let me fill this up with water. Then you just stick the strawberries inside and you let them soak in this mixture for about 10 minutes, which is about how much time we have left on the scones. So that makes it super easy. And you'll keep this in the mixture for 10 minutes, then you'll drain them, put them on a towel, and let them dry a little bit. And then you put them in a storage container, put it in the fridge, and it seriously keeps for like a whole week. Allison can eat them. She always loves the red and juicy strawberries, and most of the time these do stay nice and red and juicy for her. Mama needs some coffee while I wait for things to finish. Look at these. Oh, let me tell you, I am so excited to take into one of these. Just take a peek at the bottom. They feel pretty firm, and yeah, they're pretty brown on the bottom, as you can see. I'm just gonna let these cool actually on the cookie sheet here, and then I'll put them in a container once they're completely cool, and then I will heat one up maybe in the microwave when I'm ready to eat them. So here we are in, I don't know, like 30 minutes of time. We got some pumpkin chocolate chip scones ready for snacks. We also washed some strawberries. Like I said, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you can get all of this done in like 30 minutes on a Sunday, you're gonna be so much more prepared for the week. And speaking of being prepared, let me take you to my fridge real quick. I wanna show you how I organize all the food in my fridge. Okay, let's talk for a minute about how I organize my fridge. Now, each shelf is designated for something totally different, and I try to keep it all that same way every single week. Doesn't always work, but I think I've got a good system going. Let me first take you to the very top shelf. This is where we keep all of the drinks, milk, soda, coffee creamer, that sort of thing. It is just, you know, the tallest one here is where I can fit everything. Sometimes I'll even put, I think it's back here, like the applesauce. Yeah, any of the large jars that might not fit in the door, I will stick in there. Then down here, I have a lot of like miscellaneous extra eggs are always right here. All of my containers, so cottage cheese, yogurt, sour cream, any jars of stuff will also be over here. I've got some hummus in the back. I've got like just a little container of blue cheese. So anything that comes in one of these tubs here, this is usually where it goes. And then down here on the second to bottom shelf are our dinners, any dinner leftovers. As you can see, I need to cook, but we have two different sides. This side is usually for my food, and this side is usually for John's food. And we only do that because there are certain dinners that I really enjoy that he does not, and vice versa. So we know that anything on the left side is what I can take for lunch, anything on this side is what he can take for lunch. And having all of your leftovers in one shelf helps you to, first of all, keep track of everything. That way you can see what you have available to take for lunch. And then it saves on money and food waste because it doesn't get stuck in the back of the fridge and left to rot. And then the very bottom shelf right here, this is for all of our like breakfast items, our snack items, and any cut up produce. So down here I've got some French toast, that's a little bit left. I also have some energy bites and chocolate spinach banana muffins. Back here I have some chopped up tomatoes and lettuce. They're already chopped up and ready for salads, so that's really convenient. Then I've got two drawers down here, and I use them kind of specifically for certain things. The bottom shelf is kind of the easiest to explain. This is where I put all of the produce that I have just bought for the week and that I haven't gotten around to chopping yet. That way I can look down here and say, okay, this is what I still have to work on, and I can always transfer them up to the shelves. Now this topmost drawer is for a lot of miscellaneous items. So pre-shredded cheese, any like breads that I make, I'll put down here. Any containers of lunch meat, other blocks of cheese, other produce that I'm using up right now. So on the bottom drawer, I had a full bag of apples. This one, I've got the couple apples left. That way I know whatever's in the top drawer, I need to eat first before I get down into the bottom drawer. But yeah, this is for most of the produce I have to use up and chop up right now, and the deli meats and cheese and things like that. And the ones on the bottom are for the ones that still need to be prepped. And I really don't have a system for the stuff in the door. It's just wherever it'll fit. So as you can see, you got eggs up here, the place for like butter, some cheese, the cream cheese and things like that. Then all of the random condiments, wherever they will fit. I do have to go through them fairly frequently to make sure we're actually using this stuff, because a lot of times we'll go and buy a couple of things that we already have, and then we end up wasting a few of them. So yeah, we try our best, but you know, it happens. I actually created some meal prep cheat sheets that are going to help you when you plan your meal prep session. It's got a section for the baking, cooking, and chopping, as well as a list of all the other things that need to get done. So if you would like those meal prep cheat sheets, I've got a link to the free download in the description. And before we go, leave me a comment and answer this question for me. When it comes to prepping food or even buying food for the week, would you rather save time or would you rather save money on your food? And I know that's going to be different for a lot of us, and it'll even change from year to year depending on the person. It has changed for me quite a bit over the years as well. But I wanted to get a good idea of what you all are looking for, so that way I know how to plan the next month. So I appreciate any and all feedback. And as always, please hit that red subscribe button, like this video, and ring that bell down there. That way YouTube will notify you when I post more videos like these, all my other grocery hauls, recipes, and meal planning tips. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.